the United States and the West should step in. They should convene a conference in a neutral country, bringing together all groups who genuinely believe in our values, in democracy, freedom, human rights.
But that's going to eliminate a lot of groups.
Of course, but if we are going to back a group, we have to back groups who share our values. If not, we're supposed to
Is
to
that
back
easy
them.
to determine?
I mean, it's easy because we're going to set up, if they are willing to sign up and commit to our values of equality of all citizens under the rule of law, regardless of religion, ethnic group, sex, and gender, that would automatically exclude the other groups. But why should we back groups who do not accept the equality of a woman and a man, who do not accept the equality between a Christian and a Muslim, or who do not accept the equality between a Druze, a Shia, an Alawite, and a Sunni?
What happens, though, when you exclude those groups, but they are the ones who are able to win elections? I mean, that has proved to be an issue in the Islamic world, especially in the Islamic world of failed states, where the groups that seem to get a great deal of ground support don't tend to have those values that you just spoke of.
But this is wrong. We have to also regard at the situation in Syria today. People, first of all, rose against the Syrian regime, which is a dictatorship, not because they want a theocracy, because they were looking west, they were looking at the United States, they were looking at Western countries, European countries, and they wanted this kind of democracy because they know very well that is the only way that a country with such a beautiful mosaic could live together. It's under a genuine democratic rule. And certainly we don't have that. And if those groups are willing to accept that, as they're saying they want democracy, they want change, they want to remove a dictatorship, well, they have to accept, they have to come, sign in and commit to those values, and they will be responsible in front of the international community if they do not at later stage adhere to that.
Let me pick that up. International community. You have said that the West has to take a pragmatic approach. You just mentioned a conference, for instance. That would today include the Syrian regime that you are opposed to, and the Russians.
Yes.
And that legitimizes Russia's activity there. It may even need the Iranians to be there.
It's not about legitimizing. It's that we have to be pragmatic today. We have to accept that the Russians are there today, and they are getting only stronger. Why again? Because of Turkey's Downing jet of the Russians, which they were able to bring the S-400 missiles, and not one country have them outside of the Russian borders. China will have them soon. They were able to bring a submarine, the Moskva cruiser. They
use the downing of the jet as justification to bring heavy arms in.
But now they're building more bases in Syria and other airports. So we have to take things the way they are. They are there. They are very strong. They are not willing to give up, on Syria. They are not willing to give up on the regime. So again, we have to be pragmatic. We have to work with the Russians, as we all share with the Russian, Chinese, the international community. We all share the same enemy.
Does it hurt you to have the last name al-Assad with the number of opposition groups who are trying to unseat your cousin?
Actually, I don't believe it's, I always tell them, you have obviously, they have accepted, as you have seen, Riyad al-Hijab, who was a former prime minister of Syria, who was sworn in 2 years and a half after the uprising started, even though there was many dead from both sides. And he had accepted the job, and then he left. There's also Manaf Tlas, who was also for years member of the Republican Guards. He knew very well that he was serving a dictatorship, and he was part of this dictatorship. And he again was accepted, as many others. So in the country, I think the Assad name, we should not mix between, we should not put everyone in the same basket. Not all the Assads are the same, not all Alawites are the same, not all Baathists are the same. We have to be able to differentiate. If we want genuine democracy, we have to be able to differentiate between people.
What role would you have in this?
I honestly, what I've always done for my country is to be able to go back there and live peacefully and help the Syrian people, and Syria develop into a genuine democracy as we have it here, as countries where I've lived, for example, in France, in England, in Spain,
You've been out
in
of
the
Syria
US.
since you were
Since I was 9 years old. Yes, I went back shortly, and as I said, from 1997 again and 1999, and then as soon as I left, they bombed our house. So I was not able to go back, and I have children now. I want them to be able to go back, to live peacefully, to live, among Syria, among the Syrian, beautiful mosaic of Syrian people that have lived there together for thousands and thousands of years.